Hello. Oh wait, that's right. We do that. It's been a while.
Da da do 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 da 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 do do do. Fitzpatrick apparently is leading the QBs.
Of course he is, dude.
Go nowhere. Do, do, do.
There was
Good
not.
Fedor.
not a,
Hey, how's it going? I guess this would like technically be the start of a new season.
Yeah.
So welcome to season 2 of season like 50 something of the actual
Yeah.
NFL.
it's like 54, right?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, it's in the 50s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, hey, how's it going? Last time we talked to you people, it was the draft, right after the draft, I think. Right? It's
Yeah,
probably
I think
like
it was
3 months ago.
Yeah, something like that.
You people?
You people. You know who you are.
We did a post draft roundup, and now here we are before the Hall of Fame game, Coach. We've got football ready to rock. We can smell the grass growing outside, and
Oh, yeah.
and we can laugh at the Jets and the Bucks again for another season.
Finally. So what's happening, you might ask? So we're about to start the preseason. I don't know if everyone knows what the preseason is because so in our Discord, we have a football Discord. I'll link it in the links if I remember. There's 4 weeks before the actual season starts. Well, actually, it might be 5 because there's like a week off. But there's these weeks, and it's pretty much training camp. So every team gets like a surplus of players. Like you get like 100 players. I don't know what it actually is.
It's like 90 something.
Yeah, so like undrafted guys that just trying to make the team, actual drafted guys that you're seeing how good they are in actual NFL practices, stuff like that. And then they pretty much practice as a team, and then every week they get cut. Like players on that out of that 100 get cut down to like 80, then down to like 70, and down to like 60, and then there's the actual roster, which is like 52, 53. I think it's 53. So
Yeah.
that's where we are right now. Because I saw some people, they were just like, "Oh, we should do fantasy football. Like, is it too late?" Like, and I was like, "No, this is like really early."
Yeah, that's nowhere near even starting. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think they just didn't understand the preseason. That's how it works. Is we're in the process of like they're pruning down to the final roster, and most of the people on it right now are going to get cut that you haven't heard of.
It's like it's the limbo in between the off season and regular season, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the preseason is mostly pretty boring, because how it works is teams generally only play their starters for like the first quarter of the first 2 games, I think, and then the first half for the last 2 games.
I think it's the
Something
third
like that?
game, and the last game is like they don't even play the starters.
Nothing. Right? Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah,
actual.
most of them still don't play him.
Well,
The quarterbacks especially, but mostly it's the linemen who will play more than wide receivers, quarterbacks.
like I
etc.
think
But
last year Aaron Rodgers played like a drive. And they're like, all right, get out. He's like, all right, until I got the rust off.
Yep, pretty much. Because like nobody wants their fucking superstar QB to go down in a pointless game.
Yeah,
So,
it's not worth it. So this is where you get to see the backups, or you get to see the second stringers.
Speaking of, by the way, I literally just read a post on the NFL subreddit. Julio Jones says he will not play this preseason. I don't need preseason to get ready. # Falcons, apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it's not wrong. He's almost been in the league 10 years. So I don't think he needs preseason.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
much.
he knows the routes by now.
Well, he still needs to learn how to catch touchdowns, though.
Oof. Well, he's a catching machine and a touchdown or a fantasy points machine, or at least he used to be anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
good old Matty Ice, tossing it up there, getting some points and not winning games.
I vividly remember some preseason games. Like week 2, we played Jordy Nelson, and that was the week he tore his ACL in that preseason game. So that was a fun one, and never the same since. So that was, it's injuries are the biggest thing you don't want.
I mean, the death of Mark Sanchez, who recently just retired to become a CBS commentator, was an injury in a preseason game in which Rex Ryan kept him in because he really wanted to win that preseason game. So,
I mean, to be fair, that is a Mark Sanchez way to go out.
Yeah, and a Rex Ryan way to tank your season. So
and now you get your boy on ESPN for college football, Rob. How do you feel about that?
Is he doing college football? Is that what he's doing?
He is doing college football.
That's a shame. I would like to see him commentate the NFL, honestly, because he's actually like a legitimately funny dude. Like he seems just like charismatic and fun. Like if you ever watched interviews with him, he was always great. I have no ill will towards Mark Sanchez. He just wasn't a very good quarterback.
You sound like he got you a hot dog, if you know what I mean, while he was waiting in between downs.
Yeah. And plus, who the fuck is going to be the Monday nights?
I still don't know, to be honest.
I think it's like Booger and Joe Tessitore again, like alone without Witten.
Monday night. Oh yeah, Jason Witten's going back to the NFL.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
He was such so bad. Yeah,
he was so bad at commentating. He was forced to play football again because they wouldn't pay him anymore to commentate. He was like, "Oh, I see Tony Romo doing this. I could do a better job than Tony Domo." And then he, of course, sucked. He was quite possibly one of the worst football commentators I've ever heard outside of Dan Dierdorf.
It says Joe Tessitore and Booger McFarlane will return. So
fun! Yeah, that's gonna be awful.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we don't have the Booger Mobile, I mean, whatever.
They apparently banned the Booger Mobile.
Yeah, people complained. It blocked their seats.
Yeah, I would be fucking pissed as shit if I paid $2,000 to get a seat up front, and Booger's stupid ass, giant ass robot comes and stands in front of the play. I would be furious.
I just picture
I'd
like people.
Sue, probably.
I know.
Like legitimately.
I just picture people sitting there and it's just like, like lands. Ah, jeez, look at this thing. Booger has arrived.
I am the Booger Mobile.
At ESPN's head offices, the meetings are like, oh man, how do we entice more football fans to watch football? Well, I mean, we could maybe stay away from the drama and the random bullshit and instead talk about the interesting aspects of football and the strategy. No, how about we just make a big fucking car and make Booger talk about shit in his pants live on TV?
Yeah, like what did the mobile? It didn't even do anything. He just sat in it. And he's like, I can see the TVs from here. It's like, we can see it too.
You can see him visibly shaking from it rattling down the field. It was hilarious.
But he barely ever drove it in the first place. Like it was just a cart.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It was a cart that had
occasionally moved.
It had the television broadcast, and it had the game, so he could draw over it. That was it.
Yeah. And he barely ever did that.
Yeah.
So
this is the spot where I shit my pants, right here where I'm drawing on the telestrator.
A couple of the new headlines here, Coach. If we want to go over league news real quick, of course, the biggest blow to the Bengals has been dealt. AJ Green going under the knife for an ankle procedure. Which is to which his I believe that it's a teammate. It might be even the coach because I don't know who coaches the Bengals anymore. But it's the new coach, Zach Taylor on AJ Green. Obviously he's down. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, back to Rob in the booth now.
Well, that's another point in the Browns win column. So that's
Browns looking stronger and stronger. Go Browns!
Taking that division by storm.
That's the Bengals. They're back to being the Browns of that division. Who would have thought?
Yeah, so it was actual surgery that he did to on his left ankle, and he has no change to expected recovery time. However, and that says week 1 is a possibility, but he's listed as questionable officially at the time of this recording. And then, of course, off to the bigger news because, I mean, who cares about the Bengals, really?
Right.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, the clear leader in the Miami Showdown QB Battle 2019.
Who would have thought?
Fitzmagic just spreading all over Florida, crop dusting his way to and from Tampa, going to Florida, and going to Miami, and he'll win 3 games, and then that'll be it. So
he's got
leading.
Bruce Arians now. He'll win 4.
Well, Bruce Arians is with Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, like
Fitzpatrick
legit.
is not with the Bucs anymore.
Oh wait, that's right. He's with the Dolphins. Never mind.
He's leading. He's currently beating out Josh Rosen for that job, who, as you all will recall, is Rob's best friend from Arizona.
Listen, I don't know where any of these quarterbacks go. I got my quarterback. All right, he's just stapled in.
All right. Yeah, it must be nice to have. How, Coach Krendor, how does it feel to wake up every day knowing that your quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, Coach?
Well, it's Brett Favre for a while. It's pretty fun. And then you get Aaron Rodgers. It's also pretty fun. That one year we had to have Brett Hundley in. Oh, my God. Terrible. Never again.
That is my entire football life.
Welcome to being a Bucs fan and Jets fan.
Hey, you got Darnold.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty happy about Darnold.
Yeah, at least you don't have freaking Jameis Winston still.
Yeah,
that's like Darnold's like a dream. Winston's like a nightmare now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm waiting for Uncle Bruce just to again old yeller him. Just please
he probably will after this season. I don't think even no matter what he's saying, I don't think the long-term plan is Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
I mean, the chorus has been chanting for Winston to be booted for the last 3 seasons now.
Yeah,
I cannot comprehend how they think Jameis Winston's still going to do anything. If he wasn't going to get it done by now, he shouldn't be our quarterback. Plain and simple.
It's just a money thing. Yeah, they don't want the dead cap.
I mean, if people got excited, I recall back last season when Tampa Bay was one of the most electric teams. And you know why? It's not like they had any big changes other than the quarterback position. We were getting excited about – I don't know what voice this is, by the way. We were getting excited about
like
Ryan
Fitzpatrick.
I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers electric offense.
Ryan Fitzpatrick was the most electrifying man in Tampa Bay.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, new quarterback out of Harvard, coming into the scene.
Will he do anything in Miami? Probably not. He'll win 3 games and then not make the playoffs. Back up to you, Rob.
No, dude, he's probably going to score like 500 yards on the Jets, and I'm going to be very salty.
Oh, yeah, he definitely will.
Yeah.
I mean, just get rid of Winston. I hated him in college, and I've hated him since day one. I gave him 1 season to be like, okay, let's see what the rookie can do. Okay, he's terrible.
Well, they're not going to get rid of him just because of the cap space, like Rob said. So it's like they'll get rid of him after this year, obviously, but like no team wants to trade for him. Like we need to get Jameis in here right now.
He will be the next Josh Freeman of the league, which ironically enough also was drafted by Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm looking at his cap stuff. 2019.
I'm just saying, if you old yeller him, you don't have to pay him.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah. What? The dead money on Jameis Winston is his full contract?
What?
Yeah, apparently for this year. So like pre-June 1st. Hold on. Cut post June 1st. It is, still that. Damn.
That would explain why he's still on the team.
Yeah.
Why do you think everyone hates him?
Oh, he's on his rookie extension. Yeah, that's why. Because it's fully guaranteed. So yeah,
Rob, would you like to explain cap space and cap dead contracts to the audience?
Yeah, sure. So contracts, when they make contracts with NFL players, not all of the money is guaranteed, unlike some other sports like baseball, where all of the money is guaranteed. And that's important because the NFL has something called a salary cap. And unlike most other leagues, it is a hard cap limit, which is just a certain amount of money that any team can spend on all of their players cumulatively. And that's a hard cap. You can't exceed it. With that said, there are like minor loopholes and stuff with fucking with the cap, but ultimately the intention is it's twofold. One, it creates parity in the NFL so that big market teams like teams in New York don't just automatically crush small market teams like teams in like Oakland or St. Louis or something.
Green Bay.
Yeah. And then the other reason is, of course, so that the billionaire owners don't have to pay their players as much as other leagues do.
Yeah.
So, and some would argue that's the primary reason. But with that said, it does really create a good deal of parity in the NFL. And so because not all the money is guaranteed, that means that teams can set up contracts where by the second or third or fourth year, cutting them won't result in something called dead cap. And dead cap is just that guaranteed money left on the contract.
Mm-hmm.
So some players end up like there's a big one this year, right? Like I think AB is.
Well, the Packers just did it with Mike Daniels. They saved $8 million by cutting him, and I mean he's still like up. Like
and
he's
still
not
paying him.
He's not like Pro Bowl level, but he's still like very good. So it's just had some injury stuff. So they got rid of him, and he went to Detroit. I would imagine because of rivalry reasons and getting back at him for cutting him. But you know, you save enough money to pay some other guys that are coming up that aren't old or injury concerned. But yeah, it's like that type of thing.
Yeah, and if guaranteed money's still on the contract, then the team that signed the contract still has to pay them that money, and that's called the dead cap.
Mm-hmm.
So for Jameis Winston, because he's still on his rookie extension deal, which is if you're drafted in the first round, then after every rookie gets a 4-year contract. If you're drafted in the first round, teams have an option, a 5th-year option to extend the contract one more year at a lower price than they would be getting on the market. So, and rookie contracts are all fully guaranteed. So, that's why Jameis Winston is 20 million of dead cap, so they can't cut him. Or they can, but it's just like it doesn't really do anything for them.
Keep in mind, this is the same team that also drafted another kicker in the draft in the 5th round this past draft. The Bucks are a walking clown fiesta.
Yeah,
well, that's also true, but at least they've got like some resemblance of. Well, actually, they're kind of in mediocrity, which is never where you want to be.
Yep. Thanks, Coach.
You know. Either way, biggest news story, I think, personally. Speaking to Raiders John Gruden, he said, and I quote, "This Nate Peterman guy is growing on me."
He's taking the league by storm, dude. Taking the league by storm. Dude, I could totally see him start talking up Nate Peterman, trading off Carson for
Derek Carr.
Carson? Yeah, Derek Carr, that's the one.
Derek Carr,
sorry.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've talked about football. Sorry, but yeah, trading out Derek Carr for and tanking for Tua or something for the first year in LA or LV.
Yeah.
So
it's,
that'll be interesting.
I think what's going to be most interesting is they're the Hard Knocks team, and we're going to get to see Nate Peterman and why this guy's growing on John Gruden.
I can't wait,
excited.
dude. Having John Gruden back on Hard Knocks is gonna be
Okay, true or false? Since it's Las Vegas, we're talking about. Will we get to see any clips or any montages of the grasshopper infestation on Hard Knocks?
Grasshopper infestation? I don't know about that.
You haven't heard? It was big enough to be on like every news network.
I don't watch the news.
Well, at the time of this recording, Las Vegas is currently inundated with a massive grasshopper infestation, like swarm.
They won't show that. I mean,
I really hope they do.
Well, first, they're still in Oakland, so they're not gonna.
I guess that is also true.
They're not gonna show any Vegas stuff.
What are they supposed to move?
Next year?
Next year. Yeah.
Oh, it's next year.
Yeah, next year. So they'll probably they'll show like some like Vegas Strip like highlights, like there it is, the Strip. And
earlier in the offseason, though, they were talking about having issues with Oakland even for this year. So are they going to play in Oakland at all this year? Because I was under at least I'm not up to date on the new news here, but like as of a couple of months ago, they weren't going to play a single game in Oakland this year because
I thought they were already moved to the new facility. I thought that that's what they were waiting for at the end of the season. I'll double check on this and get back.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Do the research. All I know is that Hard Knocks starts August 6th, so a week from today. So that's gonna be a fun thing to watch every week. I always like Hard Knocks. For anybody who doesn't know, every year, HBO does a special where they watch a team's training camp. And so this year is the Oakland Raiders, and it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be a big shit show. Last year they did were the Browns last year, or was that 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was the Browns.
Yeah, last year was the Browns. Year before that, I think, was the Texans, and then there's like the Falcons or something.
Yeah, something
but
like that.
The Bucks were season 1, I believe, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
I think Gruden was the first one.
Yeah. So it's pretty fun to watch, especially if you don't know much about football. You're trying to learn or get more into it. Like this, it adds some like personality and life to the NFL, or at least like specific teams.
You get to see like the people side, not just the
Yeah.
side.
Like I remember the Browns with Greg Williams being like, "Shut the fuck up, everybody." Yeah. All right, Greg Williams.
Bless you.
So just an update really quickly here. The Raiders will finish this season in Oakland and hope to inaugurate their new Las Vegas stadium in 2020. However, there's an added clause in that agreement that the Raiders allows Raiders to break that pact for 2019 if local officials filed an antitrust lawsuit against the team and the NFL over the Raiders' move to Las Vegas. So,
yeah.
Tentatively playing in Oakland.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
stadium.
Yeah. So there's some funky shit going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
It's California. What can you expect?
yeah.
Then just move the Chargers to Oakland, and everything's okay.
Yeah.
It'll all work out.
Yeah. There you go.
The Chargers really need to just go somewhere else. Like they shouldn't be in LA. Like nobody
Honestly,
cares.
you should just stop letting the U.S. government subsidize billionaire NFL owners and building their stadiums, and then you wouldn't have this shit with like Oakland, where Oakland was like, "Hey, give us $500 billion to renovate our stadium," and Oakland is like,
I mean, it could have been a lot worse. They could have been going to London.
"Yeah, well,
That's
yeah,
true.
I mean,
yeah.
it's a possibility. There might be a team. going
Honestly,
there.
the London Chargers might be a lot better than the Los Angeles Chargers still,
Yeah,
even with the time difference.
I don't know what the hell's gonna happen with that team, man.
Yeah, it's a limbo team, which kind of sucks
Yeah.
for Chargers fans because it's like it's got to be sad just to be like, go Chargers, and then they're just like, yeah, we're moving, and then it's like they don't even care about you there, and they're like, yeah, well, we're doing it.
And you're like, you've got like 39-year-old Phillip Rivers, so like,
Oh yeah,
even if things go relatively well, you have Phillip Rivers for like 1 or 2 years, and then you're gonna have an already low viewer base, and then become a garbage team. Like, they might like fold or get sold,
yeah.
which is probably ultimately a good thing.
And the thing is,
Getting it out
like,
of Dean Spanos' hands.
Yeah. They're not even bad. Like, they made the playoffs last year. Like, sure, they lost, but, I mean, anybody will take making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean they did, and they won a playoff game too.
Wait,
They
who
got
did
through
they
one
beat?
team, I think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they
What
won.
are we
one
talking
last
about?
Where am I?
year. What year is it?
I thought they lost to the Ravens. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, they I think they ultimately lost to.
NFL.
No,
Oh wait, no, they beat the Ravens.
Yeah, and
then
they lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what. Who would have thought that would have happened?
Thankfully, Bear.
Oh, man.
Thankfully, Bear is not here to let us.
Yeah,
be
that's where.
reminded.
Actually, this is a great time to remind you folks that if we get into the season and it's week 3, and the Patriots are like 1-2 or even 0-3 or something like that, and all of the sports journalists are going, this is the end. Tom Brady's done. It's all over. Just remember this podcast last year being like, hey, when they're out of the playoffs, then we'll decide the dynasty is over or not, because they ended up winning the fucking Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
So
And also, Bear's not allowed to brag about the Patriots any time before week 12.
Yeah,
that's fair.
that's a staple grandfathered clause. So I even forgot how bad that playoff game was. The Patriots were up 35-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Humdinger, coach.
Speaking of franchises that are not doing very well, the New York Giants' entire wide receiving crew is out.
Oh no, is it?
Yep. Golden
Oh,
Tate,
God.
4-game suspension. But the NFL, there's a source that says he's like appealing it, fighting that 4-game suspension. I believe one of their other receivers like tore his ACL, and then another receiver, I think it was who's that? One of them's been on the team, Sterling Shepard. Is that his name? Sterling Shepard. Is that it?
It's definitely not Sterling Sharp. I can say
Sterling
that.
Shepard. Well, yeah. Oh yeah, Sterling Shepard. He's eyeing a week 1 return from a thumb injury, so he's trying to get back on time. Corey Coleman's the one who like tore his ACL, so they've got like 3 broken wide receivers. Well, you know, one's suspended, and then you got the Daniel Jones, who I've heard. This is another thing where I've heard people be like, he looks amazing, he looks so good, and other people are like, he's not. He doesn't look very good, and I'm like, well, which is it? Dude, are they watching the same thing?
He looks. He looks like mediocrity personified.
Off-season like training camp stories are the worst thing to go by if you want to judge whether a player is going to be good or not.
He's minimally exceptional.
He's the greatest player that ever played. He might be the worst player since Jamarcus Russell. Like, it's impossible. Like, you can't trust any of that shit.
But
With
that's
that said,
the campiness and hokiness about the preseason, though. It's
True.
all a crapshoot. For those of you who listened to the entire season of our first season last season, if you haven't caught on the fact that we know nothing about nothing and it's all a crapshoot by now, then you should find another sport, because this is football. This is American football 101 right now. No one knows anything. Everyone loves to laugh at their team.
Yeah.
Except for Patriots, who always win.
And unlike some aspects of other games, even the advanced analytics have trouble predicting things in the NFL. Like it is very common that advanced analytics are wrong in this league, because it's just the game hasn't been worked out yet, like some other things have, because there's so many moving parts. So. And that's part of the fun, you know, and that's like part of the reason that that it's fun having only 16 games. It makes like randomness such a huge factor.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like when you put Ty Montgomery back to get a kickoff and he just fumbles it and you lose. It's always fun.
Or when Tyreek Hill suffers a bruised quad, but slated to be okay.
Or when Tyreek Hill wants a new
that.
contract.
Yeah, when Tyreek Hill gets burned in a fire. Oh wait, that didn't happen yet. I wish. Yeah, no, I was just reading about that, and apparently he's gonna be okay. Oh, good. Also, by the way, he's not getting suspended at all.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NFL, Rob.
That's some good stuff, man.
So
We've had
good stuff.
We've had literal murderers in the NFL. No one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as long as nobody like slows down because of murdering someone, like as long as they're still playing good.
Look, we could punish him for being a horrible, disgusting, grotesque human being, but he runs really fast, guys.
Yeah.
He catches the touchdowns. Yeah, that's American sports. There you go.
Yeah.
It's they're saying Drew Rosenhaus, a famed agent, is trying to discuss a new deal for Tyreek Hill. Someone said, I got a great deal, 25 to life. That's probably the best tweet I've seen today.
Oh,
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yep.
I like it.
I'd
sign up on that.
Apparently he also bruised his quad today. Someone said break a leg, Tyreek.
Break 2. You know?
I did literally just get done talking about that, but
yeah, no, like that's what sparked the conversation.
At least Rob remembered.
I didn't remember. I was looking at
where am I? Is it still football?
I was looking at Twitter.
I do want to say, by the way, I do not condone wishing injury on NFL players in a general sense. But this guy's a giant piece of shit, so I have no qualms about it. And he's facing no justice or punishment for the horrible things he's done. So if the football gods want to break his fucking neck, then, you know, I won't be that sad.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of someone who may have also caught the football god syndrome now,
All right.
Adrian Peterson reportedly to
Yeah.
be millions and millions of dollars in debt, despite making over $100 million during his
That
time.
always blows my mind.
Yeah, he's
I
a big
can't-
fucking idiot.
If you gave me $1 million, I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Let alone 100 of those.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's I'm not sure if it's karmic justice. The man is still playing football, and if he has any brain in him, which he doesn't, he'll at least be able to cover some of that debt. But I can honestly say that I don't think any of us are rooting for him. to
he
do so.
lost
No.
$100 million. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
did he
well,
do?
He's got like 6 kids with 6 moms. So, like that's basically a lot of where his debt comes
I
from.
don't care
And
who
he's a
you have
stupid
kids
fucking
with,
moron.
or
Yeah.
with how many women. I don't care. They are not going to cost more than $100
Philip
million.
Rivers
No, yeah,
has
exactly,
like
yeah.
30 kids with the same woman.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah.
they're eating caviar off of a golden spoon, and
Well,
that
fucking,
spoon is changed every bite, they're not making
Adrian
$100
Peterson
million.
was also the guy who had his 30th birthday party in I think it was Qatar, where he came into the
Yeah, on
party
a
dressed
camel.
like a sultan. No, not a camel, a fucking elephant.
Or elephant. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He came in dressed like a sultan riding an elephant. So yeah, that's probably where he blew his fucking money, because he's a big dumb idiot. Fuck Adrian Peterson. Fuck him so hard. If he ends up in the Hall of Fame, man, I'm
We hear the number. We hear the adage $1 million quite often in this country, and I think it gets lost on people just how much money that actually is.
yeah, no, $1 million. That's like estimated
have-
to be what you make over the course of your
Think-
entire lifetime.
Think of how much money $100,000 is, and then put a 0 on that. Times that by 10. That's $1 million. Now picture that, except with 2 other zeros after that. That's how much money this man has somehow made, but is still in millions of dollars of
That's
debt.
like Nick Cage. You ever see that? Or he like bought like dinosaur skulls. He bought like an
Yeah.
island. He bought like just like so much crazy shit. But I
Did
didn't
he
think
buy a
Adrian
haunted
Peterson did
castle
that.
or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
some
at least some of
random
that
bullshit.
stuff's cool. Adrian Peterson was probably like giving like 500,000 to just some random stripper or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But even then, 500,000, he's like, okay, I mean, that's the drop in the bucket.
He probably
compared
did
to
it. Like,
$100 million.
He probably gave it to like 100 strippers, and he's like, "Ah, shit, where did it all go?"
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's fine with me. I never liked Adrian Peterson, Minnesota Vikings. So that's fine with me. Let's see other news popping up here from the Adam Schefter tweetster. Seahawks first round pick LJ Collier went down and was carted
That
off.
sucks.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's always shitty when it's a first year player. you
Yeah,
know?
because it's like you're excited to see the draft pick and see how he
Yeah.
like performs, and it's like, well. Also, Jerry Jones quote. Get ready.
Oh boy.
You don't
we are.
have to have a rushing champion to win a Super Bowl.
Man. That is
Now,
hard
you might-
hitting advice right there, Jerry.
You might be, hearing that and be like, oh, maybe that's just what he believes. No, it's because Ezekiel Elliott's going through like so much shit that he's gonna get suspended for like a year.
They're still suspending Ezekiel for what this time?
Well,
He's holding out
apparently
right now.
he's gotten sued for $20 million over alleged cover-up in car crash.
Oh my god.
So that's the latest one. I think there's some other stuff thrown in there.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Cowboys.
I mean, and Tyreek Hill is not getting suspended one game, by the way. So, just by
Yeah.
the way. just by the way.
Source tells me
deal.
Zeke is heading to Cabo. All right. It's
Yeah.
interesting. And the Jets news, I forgot.
And Jameson Crowder.
Le'Veon Bell tweeting about an apology to fantasy football players who drafted him last year.
Oh.
So, I mean,
All right.
At least he knows how to speak to the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
but by the way, we need to we gotta do our fantasy football thing. I don't know who
Yeah,
we
we
should
gotta
invite
start
this
that.
year, because it'll be us. We'll get Bear, but we need we need more. So maybe there's like the same.
Why don't we get?
We've got the Mosh Pit League.
Yeah, let's
Please.
invite
There's-
Juju Smith-Schuster Get him involved. That'd be good. Maybe AD. That could be good. Some sparks flying.
Yeah, we can definitely bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, solid thing. I forgot we have like the league's already like set up and they just invite us in and then we don't have to do anything, which is perfectly fine for me. I hate doing work. As you probably know.
we literally have somebody completely different who runs the Mosh Pit League other than myself.
Yeah.
And then don't have to do anything for it. We put the hypothetical money in the hypothetical prize pool that someone may hypothetically win if they don't draft a Buccaneers player. And then after that, we all cry because none of us win.
Yep. But this year's the year I win. I've gotten last. I've gotten like third to last, but I think this is the year.
I got pretty close last year is all I'm saying. And y'all laughed at me when I was drafting Browns players.
Now, you didn't know that they were the team of destiny.
I will say
I
that
did, though.
I think it came down like me and you trying for a playoff spot. And then my team, shit the bed. But
didn't I eliminate Rob last season? I gotta look this up.
I think I needed you to eliminate Rob, and you failed. And then I yelled at you.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty sure
I ended up winning my last game. I think if I had lost and you had won, then you would have made the playoffs instead of me. But I ended up winning my game anyway. So
that's what it was. It's all flooding back in.
Yeah, I think I did one and done in the playoffs. Though,
repress those memories. Here's one of my favorite stories. Vincent Testaverde, the son of Vinny Testaverde, is signing with the Buccaneers. It just reminds me of that Winnie the Pooh meme where he's like Vinny, and then it's like the classier Winnie the Pooh, and he's like Vincent. Like, hey, I mean, he threw for 1,700 yards and 11 touchdowns at Albany in Texas Tech.
That's pretty good.
That's super.
He didn't include the 18 interception stat, though. That's the other.
I mean, the thing is, like, with stuff like that, in general, preseason stuff, that you shouldn't read too much into it. But with stuff like that, especially, he's probably a camp arm, right?
Yeah.
So he's not going to make the final 52. He's there for the 90 man roster.
To live
and the
in
name.
Ignorant bliss of not being an actual long-time Buccaneers, man. This is the team that drafted Chris Sims, the last pick that they could have possibly picked from, and they draft the one person that I didn't want them to draft that year for the entire year. And of course, not only was he the last draft pick, he was our starter for the next season.
Oh, that's always fun.
I mean, you could find the Philip Lindsay,
Yeah.
There's a 0.01% chance of that.
You can find the Tony Romo or the whatchamacallit.
If you're not Tampa Bay. If Testaverde ends up not only making the team but playing a single down, like, ever, I'm done. I'm converting over to a Browns fan.
What if he's better than Jameis Winston?
Then we can talk later. But I'm assuming that he's not going to be better than Jameis Winston.
He's learned from the Vinny Testaverde, one of the greatest mediocre mercenary quarterbacks of our time.
He's the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the late 80s to the 2000s.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's great.
Apparently RG3 had a hairline fracture in his thumb, so anybody worried about, RG3, he's not going to be playing.
Don't draft him this year.
Yeah, don't draft him.
Don't draft him in general, I think.
Yeah, that's a great mindset to have.
Yeah.
And apparently Carson Wentz and Deshaun Jackson getting along very well.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, they're having a good time. So
good for Deshaun.
Yeah, good for him. He's just happy to be out of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, thanks, Coach.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, oops, my bad.
What?
Don't worry about it. It's my stupid laptop.
Okay.
If I suddenly drop out of the call, it's because my laptop crashed.
Yeah,
right,
Rob at the time of this recording, Rob has to catch a bus to somewhere apparently, so we don't
back
have a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm in upstate New York, and I have to go to New York.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
That means nothing to someone who's in Texas.
Yeah, there's basically if I lived in Austin, I'm in a place in Texas that is not Austin.
Gotcha. I don't live in Austin, but I understand. So we have a in lieu of there's no official NFL.com power rankings on NFL.com this week, Coach.
Okay.
Classic.
Thank God, because it wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
But we do have. I'm flipping the script. I apologize to my NFL.com cohorts out there. I had to go to ESPN.com to find something interesting here.
Uh-oh.
But we do have the official ESPN.com bold NFL training camp predictions for all 32 teams, Coach.
Fantastic.
Now, I'm not going to go over all 32 teams, but I am going to go over at least our 3 teams plus maybe Bear.
All right.
So, starting with the New York Jets, Rob, your question is, will this be player-related or coach-related?
Wait, will what be player-related or coach-related?
The bold NFL training camp prediction, Rob.
Oh, honestly, I'm going to say player-related.
That is absolutely incorrect.
God damn it.
New GM Joe Douglas will make his first trade for ... a cornerback. The Jets are perilously thin at the position, which is vital in Greg Williams' man-to-man defense. They have only one proven starter, CB1 Trumaine Johnson. It's hard to find top-level corners, but Douglas can deal for a mid-level player to address the glaring need.
Yep.
And that's credit to Rich Smini.
Thanks,
Rich Cimini. He does not like the Jets, but he writes about them.
It doesn't sound like it here. So
Yeah.
All right, Coach Krendor.
Yep.
Here we go. Your bold NFL training camp prediction, will it be coach-related or player-related? I should say from coach, just management-related overall. Management-related or player-related?
I mean, you can go both. I mean, we have a new coach, so it's got to be like coach management, right?
That is incorrect, Coach. What? The Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur will gel quickly.
She's the new coach.
Aaron Rodgers was listed first, Coach. You can't argue with it. It's the bold NFL training camp prediction.
I would argue with it.
Yes, Rodgers.
Look at it.
Yes, Rodgers.
He's allergic to dumb articles.
Yes, Rodgers might have earned the difficult-to-coach reputation, but he knows his legacy is on the line in these final years of his career, which is why he will make this new quarterback-coach relationship work. He already has said him and I are friends, and I think that's the first part of the relationship. The on the field part will soon follow. Thanks to Rob Demovsky for that.
You're welcome.
Can I? Okay.
Thanks, Rob.
So it's just we've had Mike McCarthy for like 10 years. All right. And now we switch coaches after like the crazy shit going on last year where like they were doing like inside plots to get him out. But somehow the new coach management is not the focal point. It's Aaron Rodgers. Well, it's like that is the focal point to Aaron Rodgers, making it the focal point of the team.
All right.
I don't know.
And on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This would be for both of you, so you both get one guess each. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the bold NFL training camp prediction. Will it be player related or coach related? Starting with Rob.
Management related.
Coach Krendor.
I agree. It's got to be Bruce Arians, right?
You're both incorrect. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin will emerge as the breakout star of camp. I don't even know who that is. Bucs coach Bruce Arians has already said that Godwin is never coming off the field, especially now that he's lining up not only outside but inside too. Thanks, Bruce. He had a really nice leaping catch and run over the middle for a touchdown on the second day of camp and a touchdown.
Well, that's it.
In
He's
the
a
red
Pro
zone.
Bowler.
The next day, Blaine Gabbert hit him for another leaping grab for a touchdown. Thank you, Jenna Lane.
Blaine Gabbert.
So that's a name.
What a player.
Yep. So we had one player catch a couple of touchdowns in practice, and apparently he's never coming off the field. A player that I do not readily recognize
Against the
on
Buccaneers
roster.
Secondary.
Yeah, with Blaine freaking Gabbert tossing them up like softballs.
Yep.
Now here's the final. This is the bonus one. Since we're all Browns fans here, you two, because I already know the answer, of course. You two get one more chance at trying to get one of these bold predictions right.
All right.
The Cleveland Browns, will it be management related or player related? This time, starting with Coach Krendor.
It has to be player related. This is like an actual player one, right?
Rob,
Yeah, I'm with you.
you're both absolutely incorrect. The Cleveland Browns.
Just the laws of probability, at the very least.
Yep, this is the second Bible of the internet, Rob. You can't argue with it. The GM John Dorsey will add another impact player before camp ends. Dorsey, who has already swung multiple trades since arriving in Cleveland, is clearly still looking to upgrade his roster. He nearly landed free agent DTs Gerald McCoy and Mike Daniels this summer. I didn't know McCoy was a free agent. And he has a history of prying away disaffected stars. Redskins tackle Trent Williams would erase Cleveland's only remaining question spot offensively. Credit to Mr. Jake Trotter. So there you go. Coach and Rob did not get a single answer, and we'll see you next season.
I assumed it would have been, Odell Beckham Jr. player related, as one of the biggest wide receivers in the market going to the Cleveland Browns, and that would have been a big, player focused thing. By the way,
apparently not, Coach. These are the bold NFL training camp predictions.
By the way, Gerald McCoy he's with the Panthers now.
Yeah, so he gets to beat up on the Bucks twice a year.
Yep, he's probably very happy.
Yeah, I bet he is. I'd be happy too.
Well, over in a little bit of Packer news I can share with everyone. Darnell Savage apparently looks amazing, which I'm very happy about. They say he looks like a veteran already. He looks like a new Nick Collins. All things I'd love to hear, as Nick Collins, one of our best safeties ever. And we definitely need safety help. And we got Amos. Now we got a good, solid secondary back there. We got Alexander. I'm actually excited about our defense this year, and I'm never excited about defense, which goes to show you something. Who would have thought signing free agents and drafting well could do something?
Yeah, we've all seen Coach Krendor play Madden. He literally just fast forwards and skips defense. We don't care about that.
No. Well, the Packers
you don't win games with defense.
Well, you can't do that in the new QB1 mode. You have to play defense.
Wait, you can't. You have to play defense in QB1 mode?
Correct. Yeah.
It's QB1 mode.
It's called QB1, in which you play every member of the team, including the defense, without being able to skip.
Boy, that sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah. And the character customization looks like you hit random on Dark Souls 20 times.
Awesome.
They've had the same coach customizations for, I think, like 7 years.
Yeah, I think longer than that. I think it's the same ones that when I quit Madden in 2012. It's just...
But you can't say
insane.
you quit Madden if you're playing again, though.
Well, I mean, I quit for like several years, for like five or 6 years.
Now they roped you back in, Rob.
They did. Well, I mean, they put it on PC. What am I going to do? Not play it?
The fact that it's on PC actually makes me like play it a lot more.
I played that one game with Rob last season, but like the whole point of us even starting a podcast was built around
That's right.
Yeah,
making our own fantasy team. I played literally one game with Rob, and then I uninstalled. I mean,
our group for talking about the podcast is called Madden 19 Online. Never ended up getting around to doing that because Madden is garbage.
Never finished that franchise mode.
Yeah.
Perhaps
we never
one day.
started the franchise mode.
Well, we
maybe
kind of
this year
did.
will be the year.
I'll be playing some of that when I get home, though. So
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
excited
we could try and do it again. Maybe they fixed online, so you can mute it.
That was a good one. That's the best joke
I like
I've heard
making
all day.
jokes on this podcast.
It's very good. That was clever.
We make jokes. We like to have fun.
Now, I will say that the NFL draft portion of the franchise mode has been fixed. You can now see the players' names and the team logo on the draft board.
That's good.
That's very helpful.
Very happy. That's been
Improvement, yeah.
They fit a feature that was a bug that they made a feature. Truly amazing.
Oh, Lord.
And I will say they made contracts better so that you can't
That's
just,
good.
sign every player. Like, there we go, bring him back, bring him back, bring him back, bring him back. Now it's like I franchised the guy and signed one, and they're like, you're out of money, and I was like, wait, hold on a second, that's not good.
That's good. That's great if it's that if it's as hardcore as it is in real life. Because I will say that I came upstate like pretty much the day after Madden unlocked for me, so I didn't really get to play around with it much. But I did open up franchise mode, and I offered a trade to a team that was in need of a DT by trading them a 65 overall DT for their 72 overall DT.
You are a coaching genius, Rob.
No other trade options, just straight up a worse player for a better player.
Was he
younger, by the way? Yes, he was.
Oh.
Yeah, the better player was younger as well.
Okay, well.
Yeah, so, with no other attachments, and they were like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, we're gonna do that. That sounds great."
I will say there are a couple of bugs as well in the trading mode.
And water is wet.
The Cleveland Browns, I believe, in my franchise mode, tried to trade with me. Get this, so I had as a second round pick. I think I was like 7 overall. They tried to trade me their second round pick, 13th overall, just flat out. Like, hey,
right.
want to swap? I was like, I don't think so. But thanks. So that's
Well, at least
something.
they thought of you. That's
Yeah.
nice. It's the thought that counts.
So I think they've made some improvements, but I need to play it a bit more to really grasp it. So maybe we can play a online one when you're back, and we'll see what happens.
That would be cool.
I will say that Coach Crandor and I, we're not going to give details yet because we don't know if it's even going to happen. But if it does, I had a great idea, Rob, for a league, and I'll let you know it later. But
all right.
the only reason why I'm not saying this
thing,
because
and I can't say it.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is because I've got a secret and I'm not telling the audience. But what I'm saying is, if it does come to fruition, it will be something that will be, or at least I will be posting. I don't know if Coach will put it on the channel, but it will be okay. Well, maybe not posting, but we'll definitely stream part of it.
I gotta.
Okay, well, maybe not street, but we'll definitely talk about it.
We'll discuss.
I mean, are carrier pigeons still a good way to transfer data in 2019?
Okay, we definitely aren't going to be talking about it, but we'll be thinking about it while we're talking about other things, so you guys will have that knowledge. So.
I will say that I have a series I've done for 7 years now called Glass Bones Greg.
I've seen that, yeah.
And it's sort of related to that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And so if you don't know what that is, type in Glass Bones Greg on YouTube. You'll find it. It's where I make a player. He's got great stats except for his injury and toughness rating. And then I crank up the injury slider, and we see how long it takes him to get injured. This year's version made me lose my mind. If you watch it, you'll see why.
It's the funniest thing ever.
It's actually like mind-blowingly. You just gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
The funniest part for me is just how, like, what Crandor didn't mention is that he also makes the shortest possible, stumpiest little player that
He's
you
like
could possibly make.
He's like
with the
5'5",
biggest pads.
160. Like bulk him up.
It's the biggest pads that you can get.
Like, it looks like a peewee football player.
Watching him walk around is just hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, you can check that out if you want. But I think that should pretty much cover everything we wanted to talk about this week. So
I'm just excited to see Darnold and L. Bell, dude.
Yes.
I can't wait.
I think we can all agree that we're happy that football is right around the corner now. We got through the long summer months, and I'm ready to play some ball, Coach.
Hell yeah, brother.
We got through the long spring and winter months as well.
The long night.
The long night.
Yeah, we got through that as well.
Turns out it was only one episode. It was great.
All right. Yeah,
It's
we're
just,
not gonna get into that one.
It's just really nice having, like, every week being like, hey, you got football on at noon, and then you got it on at like 3, and you got it on at 7, and you're like, this is, you got it always on to like watch, and then you got the shitty Monday night game if you want to watch it. You got the shitty Thursday night game. Yeah.
I mean, it's football. We're all happy that it's back.
Yeah.
And we are all happy that you all stuck around on this channel for so long in between seasons.
Well,
Yeah.
don't talk too fast. We don't know how many people are going to be watching this video.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, if you guys want to watch this week, Thursday night is the Hall of Fame game. It's the first preseason game. If you want to see how shitty the preseason is, I suggest tuning into that, and you'll get a first-tier, top-quality view of the preseason. In fact, the Hall of Fame game's so bad, it got canceled the one year the Packers were in it, which was probably a good thing, because the field was like so bad, or like in such bad shape. It was,
Coach Grendor, what is the Hall of Fame game for the people who don't know?
It's a game that's literally just a preseason game, but they slap Hall of Fame on it so that they can bring out some Hall of Fame players and like show them off and be like, here they are. Like the one year Brett Favre was there and they canceled. And I was like, can't you just like have Brett Favre like play some scrimmage or some shit? It would be more fun than watching the Hall of Fame game. They're like,
video. Just have him FaceTime in and be like, hey, I'm
he
Brett
was
Favre.
literally there. He was at the Hall of Fame game. And I was like, just do something with Brett Favre.
I'm in my Wrangler jeans.
Yeah. Yeah, Wranglers. Sending dick pics to the Wrangler. Brett Favre.
Hold my crotch in the right way. It makes it look bigger.
So, yeah, check that out. And then next week, Hard Knock starts. I don't know if we'll do a show next week. It's really like...
We definitely should at least do a roundup on the first episode of Hard Knocks of the season, I think.
That's true. Maybe we'll do like a Thursday show so we can talk about Hard Knocks.
Well, you know, also let us know in the comments what you guys want us to do too. Like if you guys want us to cover preseason weeks and stuff or whatever, or Hard Knocks and stuff like that. It'd be good to hear because, you know, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants a little bit with the podcast. We're not entirely sure what we do in the off season and the preseason and stuff.
We don't even know what we do in the regular season.
Yeah, we started at week 2 last year.
Yeah. We'll be able to cover week 1. This is fantastic.
That's the most Crendor thing imaginable. We started a brand new podcast on week 2. Solely based around the NFL. Our episode number 1 was 1 week offset from the actual season.
It is correct. So that'll be fun. But yeah, leave us comments or you can tweet at us. You can see all our Twitters in the thing below. But yeah, thanks for watching, listening, and we'll be back very soon. It's football season.
It's not Star Wars.